Hi everyone. I'm just going to do a quick demonstration on how to set up for Lab 5, the Chemistry of Life, Experiment 1, which is on uh, proteins. Um, so I have everything out here that you're going to need. Remember, first step is to look through your materials and make sure you've got all those materials. So what you're going to get out of your experiment box is Biuret solution, which is blue. You're going to need 5 milliliters of that, and this container has 10 milliliters in it, and it does say shake before using, so shake it up. Biuret is an indicator, and what an indicator does, it's a chemical which changes color in the presence of another chemical. So this Biuret is blue, and it is going to change to some shade of purple normally. It's normally a lavender or some shade of anywhere from pink to dark purple, but it's going to change to some shade of purple or pink in the presence of protein. So we're checking different solutions for the presence of protein. Now, the one thing that I don't, well, let me go through the solution, the materials list. Biuret solution, glucose solution, unknown solution, gelatin packet, which I actually recorded this video earlier and messed up. So I'm going to put my gelatin packet back together. It's just a little packet of Jell-O without the part that tastes good. It's just the gelatin part. So gelatin packet, and then permanent marker. You're going to label your test tubes. I use permanent marker and tape, but you can actually write directly on your glass test tubes. Permanent marker, let's see, room temperature tap water. You can just get a cup from your kitchen and fill it up with tap water. It can be cold or room temperature, it doesn't matter. But if you want it room temperature, just let it sit out for maybe 30 minutes before you actually do the lab. And then for hot water, I had to heat mine up because I'm in a biology lab and we don't have, hot water doesn't come out of the faucet. So, but you don't have to do that. It is better if it's boiling water though. So hot water out of the tap is not going to work as well as if you boil the water yourself. Boiling water is going to mix in with the gelatin and make the gelatin easier. It's going to be a solution. It won't thicken as fast. If you use cold water or just warm water, if the water is not hot enough, your gelatin is going to thicken up and it's going to look like this, which is actually why I had to re-record because my water wasn't hot enough. So that's one reason I do these little videos is to help you guys to, maybe I will make a mistake and you won't make it, you know. So anyway, my gelatin is too thick because my water was not hot enough. So we've got the gelatin packet. We've got two 250 milliliter beakers. We've got 5 of these pipettes. Make sure that once you use it with a solution that you discard it or set it to the side where you won't use it again, because you don't want to use one pipette for the glucose solution and then use that same pipette for the unknown solution. You don't want to mix solutions with each other because it will mess up your results. It will affect your results. So you want to have a 10 milliliter graduated cylinder and a 100 milliliter graduated cylinder. And you've got your, let's see, for your labware, you've got also, you need 5 test tubes and the test tube rack, the cardboard test tube rack. Okay, and then for the procedure, for step 1, you're going to label the test tubes 1 through 5 with your marker and put them in the rack. And then for step 2, I was not prepared. I did not bring an egg from home, but just so that you will not waste eggs, you're going to have to provide your own egg, and then you're going to have to separate the yolk from the white, the yellow part from the white part. If you've never done this before, I have also included on your Moodle page a video clip. It's only 1 minute long that shows you how to separate the white from the yolk. And you're going to want to get that egg white and put it into a beaker along with 25 milliliters of water. And then you're just going to mix it up. You can stir it, you can pipe it in and out. But again, make sure after you watch this video that you watch the little video clip on how to separate the white from the yolk if you don't know how to do that. Because you're going to use the all of the egg white. And then, so for step 2, you're going to take all the egg white, put it into one of these 250 milliliter beakers. Then you're going to measure 25 milliliters. You can use your 100 milliliter graduated cylinder to measure 25 milliliters of water, room temperature water, pour that in here and make a mixture of egg white. And the egg white is actually primarily the chemical albumin. So you're going to put that 5 milliliters of that into test tube 1. And pretty much a full pipette is 5 milliliters. You can see the 5 milliliter mark is the top mark. So 5 milliliters of your egg white solution into test tube 1. Don't reuse this pipette. Then you're going to make your gelatin. Your gelatin mixture is step 3. You're going to pour the entire contents of your gelatin packet, rip it open and pour it in the second 250 milliliter beaker. Make sure you have hot water. Boiling water is best. And you might, or just get it to where steam is coming off of it, because these are plastic, but they're very durable plastic. So boiling water would work best. You're going to pour, I think it's 50 milliliters of boiling hot water. Let me look. Yes. 50 milliliters of hot water. You're going to pour that in with the gelatin. Mix it up real quick, and before it can have time to solidify, you're going to add a pipette full into test tube 2. Now this step is really important that you do it fast, because again, you can have what I have, which is my gelatin already solidified. So I would have to use a spoon or something to get it into the test tube, and it's no longer in solution form. So you're gonna, anyway, you're gonna put the gelatin in there, and then for test tube 3, you're going to add 5 milliliters of the glucose solution. So you open this up and take 5 milliliters of this with a pipette and add that to test tube 3. Then you're gonna do 5 milliliters of your room temperature water into test tube 4. That'll be your control. And then your unknown solution is 5 milliliters. So if you take this off, you want to squirt it in there, that's fine, but you can actually pop off the lid and just pour the whole contents of the bottle into test tube 5. That's your unknown solution. Now after that, you're going to take a pipette and you're going to add just 1 milliliter of the Biuret solution to every test tube. But don't do that until you record the initial colors. Record the initial colors in your table that's found in the lab workbook. When you click on lab 5 in chapter 3, there will be over to the right, there will be a lab workbook, and it'll have pre-lab questions, and it will have a table and some other questions to answer. So you're going to record the colors of test tubes 1 through 5 in that table, the initial colors. Then add your Biuret. And then once you've added your Biuret solution, you want to mix it. And you can do that. This is actually a technique called flicking. You hold the tip of the test tube and you use the finger of your other hand the index finger of your other hand to flick. And that will mix the contents up very well without you having any spills or breaking any glass. So you'll do that, and then you'll record the final colors in your table, and then finish answering the questions and upload to the assignment. Now, don't forget to take a picture of yourself. You have someone else do it. You can go like this and take a picture of yourself with the test tubes after they've been mixed with the Biuret solution. So the final test tubes, or you can do a selfie, but make sure you and the test tubes are in the picture. Okay, so that way I can have verification that you actually did the lab. And please, I have a few minutes, so please make sure that if you have not separated the white from the yolk of an egg before, that you watch the YouTube video that shows you how to do that, because I did not bring an egg today. So good luck. I hope you enjoy this lab.